screen dirty. Hold on. Hey, y'all. Thank you for joining. Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. This is Shanti Refuge of Shanti Refuge Journals. Let's see. And I'm going to tell y'all a story today. Normally, I come in and, give you information about mental health, which I still will do. But today, I want to talk about my therapy journey because so many people ask me about my therapy journey. And I'm going to share for those of you who may be considering going to therapy or who are in therapy and aren't feeling it right now. I'm going to tell you about my journey. So, again, my name is I don't want to see this. My name is Shanti Refuge. I'm a certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author, and I help you to release, heal, and live your best life with guided journaling. Right now, I'm streaming live on Instagram, TikTok, and both of my Facebook pages. So if you are not following me, then go ahead and give me a follow. I'm at Shanti Refuge Journals on all platforms. So I'm going to talk to y'all about my therapy journey today. So this happened back in 2018. And if you don't know my story, I suffered a nervous breakdown back in 2018. And during that time, I didn't know that's what it was. And it took me about a month to go and get help. So my first line to go and get help was my family practice doctor. I did not know I was having a nervous breakdown. I just know I wasn't myself. I was angry. I was crying. I was, sad, mad. All of these different negative emotions were happening all at the same time. Like one after another is like a roller coaster ride that I could not get off of. And I didn't know what the hell was wrong. So I said, okay, well, let me go to my family practice doctor because I didn't know where else to go. I went to her and she gave me antidepressants. And I said, I don't want no antidepressants. But, all right, whatever, I'm going to take them. Because, she had been my doctor for 10 years. So, if she's telling me to take them, I'm going to take them, right? Because that was a level of trust. I took them. She said, come back in 6 weeks. And I did. And I let her know that that shit wasn't working. Because it wasn't working. And let's see. What does that mean? I'm doing something new. So I'm on StreamYard for my Instagram account and my Facebook account. So if y'all can see me on there, say something in the comments so I can make sure I can see your comments. Anyway, so after 6 weeks, I went back and I told her, hey, this ain't working. She said, oh, well, let me up your dose. Let me give you a higher dose. And I'm like, okay. I, did it. So mind you, this was a month of me having these emotional breakdowns, plus 6 weeks on the antidepressants that weren't working. 6 more weeks on the higher dose of antidepressants that were not working. And when I came back that second time, I said, look, this shit ain't working. And she said, oh, well, I'm not telling you something's wrong with you. I want you to go see a psychiatrist. And I'm like, black people don't go see no psychiatrist. That's white people shit. Because I've never heard of a black person going to see a psychiatrist, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't want to go, but I'm going to go. And I did. I went and saw this nice little white lady. And first of all, the wait time. If you are experiencing a mental emergency, the wait time for a hey, how you doing? The wait time for a to see a psychiatrist is normally 30 days. So let's add up this time now. A month of me trying to do it on my own. 6 weeks, another 6 weeks, so 12 weeks with my doctor. So how you're counting this time? A month wait to go to actually see a psychiatrist. All the while, my emotions are still going haywire, and I'm not knowing, you know, what I'm doing. Can't control it. What is this? I'm just trying to make sure I'm live. Oh, don't be tagging me. My niece tagging me and some stuff want me to buy. Anyway, so when I finally got to see the psychiatrist, I let her know what was going on. And she said, oh, am I not on here? Hold on. I don't want to record. Okay, so I guess I'm not. So I'm only on TikTok right now. That's fine. I'll just put the replay up for them. Let's see. Let me get off of here. Let me make sure. Yeah, no, it's not showing me live. Okay, that's fine. Boop, I'll play with that later. Anyway, so by the time I got to see her, all this time had went by, and now I am, losing it, literally. So I went to see her, and she gave me more antidepressants, and I did not want any antidepressants. So she was like, okay, maybe you need to talk to a doctor. I was dead set against getting antidepressants because, one, when you think about it, antidepressants do not help you to heal from what you're going, whatever it is you're going through. Your antidepressants is only a mood stabilizer. Yes, you want to stabilize your mood, but what about what is causing the mood? That was my insight. I'm like, okay, I want to know why I'm acting this way, why I'm going through what I'm going through, right? And, when you're on antidepressants, you go dose by dose, and eventually you're going to need an increase in your dosage, another increase, probably something totally different altogether, because that's going to stop working. And where does it end? So I decided to install now. I decided, no, I wanted to see why I was having the emotional outburst. So I found, let me tell you about this story is going to be about my first therapist. I'll come back later and talk about the second one. So the first therapist I went to, I didn't even know why I was going to her. Because when you go, when it's your first time going to therapy, you don't know what it is, that you're expecting. Well, at least I didn't during the time. Remember, this is 2018. So I found one thing, I wanted to make sure that she looked like me. So I wanted a black lady. I did not want someone too much younger than me, and I damn sure didn't want nobody too much older than me. And that, in my mind, was me saying, because they're somebody younger than me trying to give me therapy, like, okay, you just a kid fresh out of school, you ain't been through shit, so what can you tell me? That was my mindset. It still is. And somebody older than me, my mindset was, okay, your old ass ain't never been through this, or you, I don't know, I just had this messed up mindset about, having an older therapist. So but the first therapist that I found, she was a black lady, and she was older than me, not, she probably maybe 15, 20 years older than me, maybe. She was an older lady. And, I gave her a chance because I didn't know what. So first session, my first therapy session is a what to expect. So we're gonna, why are you here? You tell the therapist, your issues that you're having, what's going on, and you, and you, she tells you what to expect, what we're gonna go through, what it is you're gonna work on, blah blah blah. Okay, second week, because I was going weekly. The second week that I went, the first week, she sent me home with homework to write down, whatever issues I was having. And I don't even remember what I wrote down back then. But the second week, we were talking, and it's basically tell me about your childhood. They always start with childhood. From my experience, I've had four therapists, but I'm talking about my first one. So she was like, tell me about your childhood. And I let her know, my childhood wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst in comparison to other people's childhood that talked about theirs. We weren't rich or anything, middle class. We weren't poor either. I didn't, we never wanted for anything materialistically. I did not realize that, my upbringing lacked emotion and affection. So I didn't get those things growing up. Hence therapy. And so we talked about that. And I want to say I stayed with her weekly for maybe 3 or 4 months before I said, okay, she's not helping me. Let me tell you why I said she wasn't helping me. To me, I would tell her about instances that was going on, but she wasn't giving me any, you know, insight, no feedback, no instruction. And that's what your therapist is supposed to do, help you break down these issues. And she wasn't doing anything like that. I started to feel like she was just taking all the information in and getting paid to hear my mess, hear my tea, because it was messy back then. But she wasn't helping me with it. It's like I was a soap opera for her, an episode. And how I know it was my last session with her. The session before that, I let her know that I had an affair in my marriage, and she was just like, okay, don't make any decisions, because I was to the point where I wanted to leave my relationship because we weren't doing well at the time, and she was like, okay, don't make any decisions without me. Don't make any major decisions. Okay, whatever. So that last session, I went to her. Normally, you know how you go into a doctor's office. I went into her office. She, we had our session. Just something didn't feel right in this session. So when a session was over, something told me to take a picture because she left my chart open, and I took pictures of all the times that I've gone. I had gone a lot. I took a picture. I started to snatch it and leave, but she excused herself. I want to say she told me she went to the restroom, but she didn't. I found out later what she did. So when session was over, she had me go out the back way. And I'm like, why are you letting me leave out this way? She said, oh, because the waiting room is full and I don't want, for your privacy, I just want you to go this way. My ass listened to her and believe her. And I went out the back way. I can't remember how I found out. I think the person told me. Anyway, the reason why she had me go out the back door was because the person who I had an affair with was in the waiting room waiting for her session. So, meaning that person was seeing the same therapist that I was seeing, and I did not know that. The person never told me. She never told me that she was seeing my therapist. All this time, I'm going to talk to my therapist about her. She's talking to the same therapist about me. I know one thing that the therapist told me was to not don't leave my current marriage for this person because she's crazy. Ain't that a HIPAA violation? So I was like, okay, I'm not going to see her no more. And I ended up, once I looked at her chart to see, because it was a $25 copay each time I go see her. And when I went to look at that picture I took of my chart, she had overcharged me. She was charging me for sessions. Goddamn Amber Alert. Y'all quit stealing kids. Damn. Um, I looked at my picture I took of the chart, and she had overcharged me. She was charging me for sessions that I had not had. Keep in mind, I wasn't in my right mind back then, so I wasn't paying attention. I was just going. And when I did confront her about seeing me and that person at the same time. How can a therapist who is there to help you see someone that you had an affair with, right? Like, make that make sense to me. It doesn't. But me and that person are no longer friends, and I'm not gonna mention their name, but they know who they are. They're probably watching shit. But still, I confronted my therapist about it. Like, how could you be seeing this person and I'm sitting here telling you about this person and you didn't make any indication to me that you were seeing this person? And her defense was she can't tell me, hey, how you doing? She couldn't tell me that she was seeing them. But once you found out that that was the person I'm talking about in therapy, wouldn't you end your relationship with them? No, you should, but the juice was too, it was too juicy. it was, it was too juicy for her because she was hearing both sides of our issues with each other and the instance. And she, she of course denied any wrongdoing. And I ended up telling her to give me my money back for the sessions that I did not have that she says I had. And she was trying to tell me, hey, how you doing? She was trying to tell me that I owed her money. And I did not owe her any money because I kept a record of every time I saw her. Back then I was, writing it down. And I saw her once a week for maybe 3 or 4 months until that relationship ended. So she refused to give me my money back. She ended up, thank you for the love, I appreciate it. She ended up refusing to give me my money back. So I reported her to the Therapy Licensing Commission here in Texas. I reported her that. I reported her to the board of the insurance board who she was taking my insurance, taking payments. I reported her everywhere. And the next thing I was gonna do, because I was so mad and so hurt, I felt so betrayed. So I said I was gonna take her picture and, make flyers and say, "Don't go to this therapist. She's the worst." I was gonna say some crazy shit, and I found out where she lived, and I was gonna go in her neighborhood. She has the mailboxes that sit right outside the house. And I was going to put flyer in all her neighbors' mailboxes. I was going to go to where she was practicing and put flyers in the elevator, on all the doors in the building. That's how mad I was. But I guess, the Lord told her to go ahead and pay me my money because she did. Because that was going to be my next move. So she paid me my money, so I didn't get a chance to do that. So I say all this to say that your therapist, if you decide to go to therapy, your therapist works for you, not the other way around. You are under no obligation to, just because you chose a therapist, you're not under any obligation to stay with them. If they aren't serving you in the way that you need, fire their ass and go find another one. So that was my that was my therapy story for today. So don't be afraid to go to therapy. Therapy is great. I have it took my fourth therapist for me to find my person. So it's just like dating. You date your therapist. Yay! You date, it's a dating thing. You have to get a feel for one another. And a true therapist, if they know they cannot handle what it is you're bringing to them, they will refer you to someone who can. And if you are a therapist and you are watching, do not ghost your client. If you know that you don't want it, they might have an issue with you and don't want to even deal with you. That's fine. That's their prerogative, but don't ghost your client. Client is coming to you for a reason. That's my second therapist who ghosted me. That's why I just said what I said. I'm gonna talk about her later. But um, you know, when you go to therapy, you're going to therapy for a reason. And to be treated that way by your therapist, who it is that you're trusting, it's like, what the fuck? And it makes you not even want to go. It makes you not want to trust anybody, talk to anybody, and where does that leave the client? So don't be afraid to go to therapy. Therapy is a great tool if you have a great therapist, but you will know. Use your discernment. When you choose a therapist, choose one who looks like you, look at their background, look at reviews. If they don't have reviews, red flag, at least one review. Somebody has to, and I guess I review every platform I could go give her a bad review. I gave her one because I wouldn't want I wouldn't want her doing that, what she did to me, to somebody else who reached out to her for help. So, yeah. Vet your person. Do background checks. See if they've had any, bad reviews, any disgruntled clients. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my comments here. So yeah, so that was my therapy story for today. So I will be back later to talk about my second therapist. And I hope you got some insight. Thank you for joining. If you are new to watching me, my name is Shanti Refuge. I am a certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author. And I show you how to release, heal, and live your best life with guided journaling. Thank you for watching. You could have watched anyone else's live, but you chose to come and be with me, and I appreciate you for it. If you're not following me, go ahead and give me a follow. My name is at Shanti Refuge Journals or Shanti Journal Bay. I'm not hard to find. My goal is every time y'all come on whatever platform, you see my face doing something. That is my goal. So there you have it. See y'all later. Thank you for joining. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. Bye, y'all.